Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to the Better Man podcast. Today's episode is a member interview with Oscar Richard. He lives in Louisiana. He had his oh shit moment back in the 1990s when he went on a charity walk, saw a photo of himself, and didn't like what he saw. Since then, he has dedicated himself to improving his health and wellness, starting with small steps, joining a gym, getting on the treadmill. And now he's doing manful yoga, lifting weights, running, doing cold plunge, doing sauna, doing it all. But we talk about how he built up to doing that in this episode. We also talk about the mindset that he uses when he approaches wellness and how he has the ability to modify and adapt his workouts to his current needs, making sure that he doesn't push himself too much but respects his body and is able to continue to stay active with that mindset. So, guys, I hope you enjoy this interview. There's a lot of great things that you can get out of it, and I hope it inspires you to be a better man. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to the Better Man podcast. Today's episode is a member interview with Oscar Richard. Welcome, Oscar.
Thank you, Dean. Appreciate the opportunity, and I hope the rest of the Manflow community enjoys our conversation.
Yeah. So I met Oscar at the last weekend workshop series that we did here in Austin, Texas in February. February? No. It was May. What am I
May,
thinking?
yep,
May.
beginning of May.
And Oscar comes up to me and between one of the sessions and he shows me this app that he has, and it shows it shows his muscle mass, it shows his weight, and it shows his body fat percentage. And I think it was like, what was it, 17% or
Yeah,
15%? 17%.
you bet 17.
And almost 100 pounds lean muscle mass, which is pretty good. That's really good. So I was like, okay, this guy's in pretty good shape. So I'd love to, I thought, oh, this would be a great conversation to have. So yeah. So you talked a lot about the other things that you do with your fitness. You have a pretty great gym that you go to that has a lot of different
Correct.
things. And I'm assuming it took you a while to build up to doing all these things. So I always
Definitely.
I always like going back to kind of like the beginning of when you really started to work on your health, work on your wellness. And I'm wondering for you, what's that oh shit moment where you realize, okay, things aren't going the way that I want them to, and it's time to make a change?
It was probably back in the late 1990s or early 2000s. Our company participated in one of these 5K charity walks. And, as they usually do, there was photos from the event. And when I saw a photo of myself from the event, I realized how much weight I had put on. And it was
Mhm.
like, oh shit, it's time to do something about it.
Yeah. Okay. That'll do it. Um, and so what'd you start to do? What were some of the steps you took?
Well, that's when we pretty much just, I started watching what I was eating, and then we ended up joining the health club, which was, I really didn't do any regular exercise until about 23 years ago when we joined the health club,
Hmm.
So everything that I've accomplished has been just over this short time span. Um, but we joined the health club. I started walking on the treadmills. They have group fitness classes, so started participating in some of those.
Okay.
You know, started losing the weight. Noticed that my strength and endurance was increasing.
Hmm.
And started doing a little bit of running,
Hmm.
which we can talk about that a little bit later. Um,
Yeah.
you know, that
Okay.
was pretty much the start.
Got it. So when you said watching what you ate, what did you mean? What did that mean for you back then? What were some of the adjustments you made?
Well, I know that you had mentioned to me that you had come down to South Louisiana for a wedding at one time, so you can imagine if you tasted some of the food down here. The food is a very big part of our culture down here.
Hmm.
People like to eat, and it's just has to do more with uh, moderation.
Okay. Moderation. Okay. So how did you have a system of guidelines or something that you used to say, okay, I think I've had enough food, or what did portion control, or like what was it?
Yeah, I think it's more portion control, and then at the same time, my wife wanted to go on the same journey, pretty much,
Hmm.
to be healthier. I mean, we had 3 kids at the time, and that was keeping us busy. So, her cooking habits and stuff like that, it was just we changed, how we cooked things and how much we ate.
Okay. How old were your kids at the time? Do you remember?
They were just early teens,
Okay.
early teens.
How do they feel about healthy food? Did they get they're like, "What is this?" Or like
No, they were, of course, kids are kids, but they were good. They were fine with it
Okay.
as long as there was something to eat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, my son yells at me if we started just having, we started getting different pasta. We started getting, like, chickpea pasta instead of
Uh-huh.
normal, like, normal durum pasta, whole wheat durum pasta, and now it's, but now he can tell, like, which ones are, like, the, like, Italian style pasta and which ones are the chickpea pasta. He's like, "No, those ones are yucky." I'm like, "Just put tomato sauce on it. It'll be fine."
Well, it's
Um,
funny how, when the kids were younger, how they were picky on what they ate, but now that they're adults, stuff that they didn't like when they were kids, they love.
yeah,
And now they've got kids of their own, and they're going through the same routine as trying to get them to eat. Like,
okay.
no, this is good. Eat it.
Yes. Just I would like applesauce, actually, Mainly just started eating, beef jerky sticks,
All
which,
right.
yeah, like, they both liked them, I'm shocked, but mainly anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Alright, so you were moderation, portion control, you started making different foods. It's awesome that you had your wife on board with you for that.
Yeah.
Did you guys just have a conversation one night and you're like, "Hey, like, what do you wanna what are we doing here?" Or, like, what did that look like?
Well, she's like I've mentioned. I mean, she's continued has some back issues. So I think
Mhm,
it was just knowing that you got to do something to. You can't let it stop you from
mhm,
getting being healthy. You got to try to get some exercise in. Lose some weight and stuff
yeah,
like that. I mean, and that's the whole point of it is to be able to enjoy our lives.
yeah,
And not let it become a hindrance to it.
right. Did you guys kind of hold each other accountable? Did you say like, "Hey, do you really need to eat that?" Or like or did she encourage you to go to the or like, what how did you guys support one another?
And yeah, probably in the beginning, I mean, you know, she would cook something and, it's like it was always something that I enjoyed. I mean, she's a great cook, so
Mhm,
I there was no issues really with what she was cooking. I really think it came down to more portion control. It's just saying, okay,
mhm,
do I need to eat this much of it?
gotcha. Okay, cool. So, alright, so this is 20 what is this, 25 years ago?
Probably, this early 20 2003,
2000
2020, 2003 or 2004, maybe.
Okay, alright, so over 20 years ago. That first if you can remember kind of that first year or that first 2 years, what were you at that time? When you saw that photo of yourself from that charity walk, how heavy were you? Do you remember?
If I had to guess, I was probably tipping over 210, maybe,
Okay. And
but
what are you now? What's your ideal weight, I guess?
175.
175?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that number just kinda slowly creep up over time? Or what happened? How'd you
Yeah,
get up to 210?
I can remember when I graduated high school, in 1980,
Mhm.
I had a 28-inch waist. I mean, I
Yeah.
was thin, but it's just like, started working and everything, and next thing I know, I'm at 36, and it's
Mm.
like, "Okay, you're going the wrong direction here."
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So, kind of in that first, do you know how long did it take you to lose weight? Do you remember?
Well, it seemed like, in a way it was easy, but it takes time.
Yeah.
And like we're always talking about it being consistent with workout, being consistent with, what foods we eat and stuff like that. It's just you got to be faithful to the journey to make it worth it
Yeah.
and get the results you want.
Right. Do you remember that there was a, as you were starting your health, wellness, improvement journey, do you remember a specific time where you realized, "Oh, this is working. Like I feel lighter or my pants are too big now." Or was there some sort of,
I think
realization?
there was one um, moment that sticks with me the most is, you know, joined the health club and I would go on the treadmill and I was running on the treadmill. And I had a coworker that also went to the gym there. He was actually a Ironman athlete.
Mm.
And he comes into my office after I get back to work and he's like, "When are you running your first 5K?" It's like, "I'm not running a 5K. I'm not ready for that." He's like, "I saw you on the treadmill. You are. Let's
Mm.
do it." So I signed up for a 5K and ran and got almost addicted to that. So, that was almost a little bit of my motivation to keep going because I was doing something I enjoyed doing. Got a little bit too competitive probably with it at times, y'all
Mhm.
wanted to place, and I won a few of them for my age group, and
Yeah.
uh, but I enjoyed it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. That's
So
really cool. So that was your thing for a while. So you were really into running and jogging?
yeah, running, and then at the club they have the high intensity interval training classes.
Yeah.
They're called circuit training, but and I really enjoyed that for a while. But then I realized that if I was trying to do weights on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and doing the circuit training classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I wasn't giving my body a chance to really rest and
Mhm.
recover.
Yeah.
So I was pushing it a little bit too much.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. How old were you when
so
you
that's
were when you were doing that 5 days a week?
it was uh 2010 that the classes I think it started because
Okay.
it was before COVID.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it for a while.
Okay. So you've been keeping it up for years, it sounds like?
Yeah, I did it
Okay.
for several years.
Okay.
Early in the morning.
Got it. And you realized at some point that it was too much or what happened?
Yeah, I think the real moment came when I tore my rotator cuff and
Mm.
bicep, and so I
Yeah.
had to take that break from the class to recover. And then I
Mhm.
started, evaluating, am I doing too much? You know,
Got it.
do I, listen to my body and say, it's probably telling me you need to give me rest days,
Mhm.
choose a different, not do anything, but just choose something that is better for those days that to give my body that break it needed.
Yeah. So kinda looking back now, were there any warning signs? Did your body give you signals that, "Hey, this is too much, dude. I think we gotta back off a little bit."
I was thinking about it. You walk around the gym and all that, and you see these guys that are built, and it's like you admire what they've accomplished,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, maybe I can do that, you know, and it's like I was using the wrong benchmarks to try to improve myself
Mm.
to the point where I was doing more harm than good. I didn't need to lift, as much weight as they were or run as fast as somebody else was running if I was running a 5K. You know, you have to do what's best for you to achieve your goals.
Mhm.
And I found that, after my recovery from the rotator cuff and bicep, that I could still do the weight training and get the results I was looking for without pushing myself to that breaking point.
Yeah. How old were you when you got the rotator cuff surgery?
Wrote it. I'm trying to remember. I think it was. 2019 that I
2019.
had the surgery.
Okay. So how old were you then?
Then, let's see, I'm 63 now, so I was probably late 50s, you know?
Okay. Got it. So you were okay, so you were pushing fitness in through your 50s doing 5 workouts a week. Wow. It's a lot. How
Yeah.
did you how'd you keep up with all that? How did you
Well,
motivate yourself to stay that consistent?
because when I would see that I was getting results that I wanted, that I liked the way I felt, that I
Mhm.
had, the strength and, or endurance to go do things outside. We have a large piece of property that, I maintain, and I could do it without any issues,
Mm,
so it's like I knew that being consistent with workouts and taking care of myself that way, I'm able to do other things in life
got it.
that I enjoy.
Yeah. So you noticed that doing the workouts was giving you the strength and endurance to be able to take care of the property, to do all those other things that you wanted to do in
Right,
life.
right.
Okay.
Just being able
Yeah.
to enjoy, life to its fullest.
Yeah.
You
And so
know,
you do all your workouts first thing sounds like you do them first thing in the morning?
yes, I
Okay.
usually get up, try to get up around between 4:30 and 5, and go to the club before coming to work.
Okay. What time do you go to bed?
How was that?
What time do you go to bed?
I try to shoot for 9 o'clock, but a lot of times it's a little bit later than that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm kind of person that probably doesn't. If I get 6 7 hours of sleep, I'm good.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to do the math backwards here. Going needing to go to sleep at this time to be able to wake up at this time. I'm sometimes I wake up at like 5:45. It's maybe once a week and it's usually an accident. I don't know why it happens, but if I can get up by 6 if I can get up by 6:15, that's good. Then I have my time to be able to stretch or do some language learning. That's what I'm doing in the mornings now,
But
or a little bit of work
a lot of
sleeping before the
times
kids wake up.
on a Saturday and Sunday, I make up for it.
Yeah.
Sleep in a little bit.
Mhm. Okay. What time do you've got a job. What time do you go to work?
Usually it's around 8
Okay.
to 5:30 or 6.
Okay.
I just make sure that everything that I need to get accomplished is done for the day before I leave.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Have you tried doing it any other way, or have you always worked out, first thing in the morning?
Yeah, I can remember probably when we first started, and the kids were pretty much out of the house. We tried the afternoon, going
Yeah.
after work,
Mhm.
but I found that working all day, 8 9 hours during the day, and then trying to go to the club, it's like I just didn't have the energy level to do a good workout.
Mhm.
I am much more of a morning workout person,
Got it.
and been doing it for so many years now. It's like you see the same people at the club every morning, so we kind of got that little community, kind of like the Manflow Yoga community, but I have one there where you see the same people there, and you talk and encourage one another, when they see you working out and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when you first started trying to work out in the morning, do you remember what that was like? Did it just kinda make sense and it was easy and it happened automatically, or did you have to force yourself to get up, or how'd that happen?
I think what really helped me really jump into the morning is when they started the circuit training classes. I
Mm,
enjoyed them so much that it was like that was my motivation to get up. I wanted to go to the
got it.
class. I wanted, to participate in it. So it's like I'm doing it for that reason.
Okay.
And I think that continues now. I mean, I'm not doing the circuit training classes anymore. Um, but that's still my motivation for getting up in the morning to go work out, is because I know I have the energy I want. I have that desire to go to the club and get a good workout in.
Mhm.
And then
Cool.
I'm ready. It really makes my day itself go by a whole lot easier.
Hmm. Okay. So it does a lot of things for you, and you're actually motivated to get up and go. That's great.
Yes.
Sounds like it works well for you. I'm just curious, does your wife work out too? Does she join you? Does she do other things?
She does other things. We have a room when we built the house back in 2015. We have a room dedicated where there's a treadmill and an elliptical bike in there.
Mhm.
So she'll use that. You know, sometimes. But yeah, she does her thing. The club is my
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Now
Cool.
we have some free weights in there, some dumbbells and stuff that she can use, a few kettlebells. So
Yeah.
when she's I try not to push her.
Right.
She does her thing and I do mine.
Yeah. Cool. Um, so you started doing so we also when you were here, in Austin, we talked, you do a bunch of other things. Obviously, you do mindful yoga, but you're also talking about I think your club does it have a cold plunge? It has sauna,
Oh
it
yeah,
has that kinda stuff,
the
so
and it was after the Austin I decided, well, on my cardio days, which I'm calling Tuesday and Thursdays, I took your advice and I go to the cold plunge first.
mm,
And after that, I would go outside. We have a nice park that's pretty much right next door to the health club that I can go and just take a nice run walk
mhm,
outside. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, the club has sauna, steam room, whirlpool, hot tub, cold plunge,
mhm.
yoga, cycling classes, um, group fitness classes, tennis courts, pickleball courts, racquetball courts,
That's,
um,
it's a
uh,
lot.
3 different workout areas, and they're wrapping up a building that's dedicated. It'll be the women's, where only women will have
Hmm,
their own workout space.
cool. Yeah, and just in case you're listening and you wanna learn more about, cold plunge and sauna, we have an episode that's either live now or will be live, later this season with Brian McKenzie, who's a super smart guy was a pioneer in all of the cold water immersion and heat exposure and its impact on physical fitness, so he's got an episode where we talk about that if you wanna hear about this in more depth. Just a little side note. And yeah, so yeah, cold plunge you can do it before. If it's a shorter time, you can do it after cardio. If it's a longer time and you really just want to you're not so interested in if you're not as interested in the muscle building aspects of cardio, or if if the workout wasn't done really with the intention of building muscle and you just want to make sure that your body recovers more quickly, then that's where you
Right.
can use the cold plunge to kind of, kill that inflammation and yeah, just get back to feeling ready for your workout. Um, so when did you start doing mindful yoga and why?
Well, it was after I had torn my rotator cuff. I tried to go back to the circuit training classes, and I noticed that the flexibility in my right arm just wasn't where it should be.
Hmm.
I was still struggling with it was tight.
Yeah.
So the fitness director at the club recommended a movement, I think they called it movement yoga class that they were teaching there. So I went to it and found that it worked. I mean,
Mm,
it was isometric style yoga, similar to Manflow, where would hold the pose for a while. She would cue where you should feel it and uh, where you shouldn't hurt. So I noticed that it was working. I enjoyed it.
hmm
But then COVID hit, and Well, she was getting ready to open up her own practice, but then COVID hit, so that put a damper on it. She started teaching the yoga outside of the health club. She had to go
Hmm.
on her own, but then it just got to the point where it was financially, too much a little bit.
Hmm.
So I was searching for other options, and I actually did the Fit Father program for a little while, and he
Mm,
had
okay.
posted a link to your program,
Okay.
and that's how I found Manflow Yoga, and it's like, yes, this
Mm,
is this is exactly what I need.
got it. So how did that help?
The fact that I was able to do your workouts on my schedule, because right now I'm finding that I can go to the club in the morning, get my workout, and in the evenings find a 30-minute, 40-minute maybe workout that you'll have on in the program workout area, and do that in the evenings, and it just helps stretch up, everything, relax everything, and
Hmm.
just overall feeling better.
Got it. Okay, so it's a lot of the recovery aspect for you.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool. How do you fit it into your schedule right now?
Right now, I look being a weight trainer on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hmm.
I've started doing cardio, going to the club early in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays for that, and I've dedicated Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday evenings to doing yoga. The
Okay,
Manflow Yoga program.
got
And
it.
then, if I'm feeling energetic or I find that I have a little bit more time, I'll throw in a couple of extra workouts.
Okay.
I mean, when we first started doing Manflow yoga, you would say, try to get 90 minutes in a week. And
Yeah.
I don't know, that kind of got stuck into my brain. It's like, okay, I got to try to get 90 minutes in,
Yeah. Yeah. So however you want to do that, 330 minutes per week, or I think 90 divided by 15 is like
or two 45
7.
minute sessions, even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we even got 5-minute routines in there if you want to,
Mhm.
do something that fits in like that. So, what did you notice when you started doing manful yoga consistently? How did that impact your other workouts?
It just, everything seemed more fluid. I
Mm,
don't know if that makes sense.
totally. Yes.
It was just easier to do the workouts, but then also because through your cueing, when we're doing different poses, I've developed that mind muscle
Hmm.
connection so that if I'm doing a bench press, I'm thinking about those muscles within my chest and making sure that I am targeting the right muscles
Hmm.
to do it.
Yeah.
So the yoga has helped me learn to listen to my body and know which part I should be working at the time. If I'm doing, some rows for my back, do I feel it in that upper back?
Mm,
You know, like when we're doing, like I can like maybe a down dog. How you would say you should feel some of it in your upper back. Do I get that same sensation? When
hmm.
I'm working out a different muscle group.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that mind muscle connection, that muscle activation, all that muscle activation work that we do. That's cool that
Right.
you're going to carry it over. So, what are some? Did you start with Strength Foundations Challenge, or what was the first program that you did?
Yeah, I think it was a strength foundation. Was probably my very first program
Yeah,
that I did.
yeah.
And then after that, I would just, whenever you put out a new one, if it sparked my interest, I'd, go to that one. I guess, I tried to do the challenges,
Hmm.
but being a lot of the challenges were daily
Right.
routines, I just trying to get the strength training and the yoga in. It's like, well, let me just find a different workout, and or I would just do it on the days that I could.
Hmm.
I wasn't keeping up on the same schedule as, the challenge days, but at least I was doing it.
Yeah. So you usually follow along to how do you find manful yoga workouts that you're going to do?
Well, now with the new app, the way you have everything designed right now, I went to the 30-minute long sessions and I'm looking at all those and seeing,
Mm,
okay, which one sounds like it's an area I need to work on or address,
okay.
or especially now that I've gotten back into running, you know, I want to make sure I take care of my knees because before I had to quit running for a while because I just pushed myself too hard,
Hmm.
and I started having knee issues. And it's like you get the runner's knee. And it's like,
Mm,
I don't need to push myself that hard. But with the Manflow yoga, I've been able to do the proper recovery and strengthening the uh, the muscles in the within my knee joints,
yeah.
and make them stronger.
Gotcha. Yeah. So how do you, you've had obviously you had the rotator cuff injury, you had some knee problems in the past. When you get injuries, how do you deal with them? What's your, how do you fix them but also stay active at the same time?
I just learn if I'm doing like if I'm say lifting some weights and I feel a muscle strain or something like that. It's like I will find a different exercise or something that I can do to keep going,
Hmm.
but not risk hurting myself more.
Yeah.
I guess I make adaptations.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it will be not lifting as heavy of a weight, but
Hmm.
still going through the motions where I'm getting, I'm working the muscle, I'm working, stretching it out or just keeping it from getting tight on me. So I find adaptations, different ways to adjust the workout.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe in saying, oh, my knees are hurting, so I can't run no more. No, I
Hmm.
can walk, you
Mm.
know, keep moving.
Yeah.
I don't let anything become a dead end.
Okay.
It's just a detour.
Yeah.
I'll
And is
find
that
something else to do.
And is that kind of is that a life philosophy that you kind of take into everything, or is that something that okay,
Yes.
yeah, great.
Yes.
Well, that will help you continue to stay active, no doubt. I mean, it already has. So,
Yeah.
that's good. So what's the next thing you want to work on in your fitness? Do you have another big goal that you're working on, or what's the
Well,
thing?
after attending the workshops in Austin, I realized I've never really done any myofascial release. So I
Okay.
want to work foam rolling. I took your
Yeah.
advice and I ordered a vibrating foam roller, and I
Yeah.
want to start doing that more.
Yeah.
Getting those benefits from the foam rolling. And that's
Yeah.
what I was, you have several videos where,
Mhm.
on the foam rolling. So follow along with those and
Yeah.
try to develop that habit.
Yeah, foam rolling's awesome. I love it. A lot of people, they're like, foam rolling doesn't have any data that support. I'm like, well, I don't need data. It feels great. Feels great for me. I noticed that it's so easy, so much easier to be more flexible when you're foam rolling. You recover more quickly. The soreness goes away. Like, this is great. So
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I
at
like
the
to keep
club,
foam rollers everywhere.
they have an area set up that's we call the stretch room, and they have all these different foam rollers and everything. And I would see people in there, you know, using the foam rollers, and it's like looks like it hurts, but it does have its benefit. So I
Yeah.
really that's my next thing is to really work on making that part of my routine.
Okay. I love it. It's a great goal. All right, I want to get into our rapid fire questions. You ready for
Okay.
those? All right. So first one is, what is the one habit, belief, or mindset that has helped you the most with your overall health and wellness?
That's um, remember why I'm doing my workouts. That I'm doing
Hmm.
it for my benefit, so that I can enjoy life, and it's something you do for yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do it for you. It's just something that for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
great.
know, and then the I guess the side effect of it is that by doing the workouts, and I see the accomplishments I get from it,
Hmm.
and it's like I know I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
You know
So, what's the one thing for your health that you do that is often overlooked or undervalued by others?
that um, that I adapt my workouts. You
Mm.
know, I I um, I don't do it to a point where I'm doing more harm than good with the workouts. You know, change can be good. So if I'm people, a lot of times, they'll see me working out or something, and they'll ask me what program I'm following or what I'm doing, and I explain to them. I think I even mentioned it to you. I give myself a handicap. Just because the workout program says to do this many sets or this many reps, I listen to my body and say,
Mm.
okay, this is the right number of sets, the right number of reps to do. You know, I don't do anything. I won't. I don't want to hurt myself. That's not the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
I think that's what people don't realize, that it's something that you have to do. You do have to adapt, to how your body is feeling at the time,
Yeah.
and then I can
Absolutely true.
always go back to it once I get over that little hurdle.
Hmm. Good. That's a good thing to do. Stressful. What's the most stressful part of your day to day life?
Finding time to do everything that I want to do. Still working. You know, I like I said, get up early, go to the club. That just makes the day go by easier. But still, at the end of the day, it's like, what if I just had a little bit more time to do something else? But when you set your priorities and realize tomorrow's another day, you got another chance to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's just time.
Yeah. True. All right. Last question. What's your best piece of advice for men who want to be healthier?
There's a few things I was thinking about. I mean, one thing I would say, like I said, I didn't start working out on a regular basis till I was in my 40s, 20 some years ago. So it's never too late to start. You
Yeah.
know, um, I could, some people would say, "Oh, I wish," and I've thought of it too. I wish I knew back then what I know now. If I would have
Mm.
started out working out earlier, how much further would I be with my accomplishments of what I have done so far?
Mm.
But that's only, you know, discounting what I have done. I appreciate what I've been able to accomplish doing my workouts for the past few years, and I'm happy with it. And that's my motivation to keep going. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
um, there was an email recently that came through, and it said in it that, but there comes to a point when you have to be strong enough for what you do in life. You know, and that's it just hit me because it's like that's what working out, doing the man flow yoga is about. It's getting you to that point where you're happy with your results, with what you can do, that you can go on and enjoy life. You don't have to be like the guy next to you.
Hmm.
Do it for you. Figure out what it is that makes what you want and go for it.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
then in that same email, there was a report, and it says if you look at the research, it's power, not pure strength or muscular size. It is a better predictor of longevity and functional independence in our later years. And it's like, true. You don't, I don't need to be able to squat 315 pounds or bench press three times my body weight. That's where man flow yoga is becoming such an important part of my workout. It's like, it's preserving the longevity of my movement and functionality
Yeah.
so that I can continue to do what I enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is the common mission statement of most men's fitness goals when we hear about that within the manful yoga community. It's not, yeah, people would love to look great with the shirt off, but if that doesn't happen, then the most important thing is just being able to be physically fit for what they want to do for as long as possible.
That's
So
right.
you said it. All right. Well, Oscar, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your
Thank you.
story.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great talking with you at the weekend workshop series. Glad I got to hear your story. Glad you got to share some of that here. Um, and yeah, I just thank you for being part of the Manful Yoga community. I think your story is inspirational. I think you've done something special with your health, with your fitness, and yeah, I'm looking forward to you continuing to do it all. So thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm hoping to make another, workshop soon too.
Okay.
I enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and thanks for making that. We didn't even have these, but you made a custom Manful Yoga decal and put it on the back of your windshield. So thank
Well,
you. That was really
they,
cool.
every time I mention man flow yoga, people are like, "What is that?" So come on, and now that I got it on the back windshield of my truck, hopefully people will Google it and discover it for themselves. And I
Yeah,
mean, it's yeah, you've done something truly amazing. I think all the members of the community are owe you a debt of gratitude because it's really important. What you've done is so important, and it benefits us so much. So
yeah.
thank
Well,
you.
I'm grateful to them for giving me the opportunity and for also bringing their stories so that it is a community. It's not just people doing a workout online, but there really is a community there. So thank you again.
Correct.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to Oscar's story. I hope it inspires you to be a better man. I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that interview. If you want to check out more on Manful Yoga, if you haven't already joined us, go to manfulyoga.com/join and get started with a free 7-day trial and get into the programs. See how it's helping people for yourself. If you're already part of the Manful Yoga community, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for sharing your stories. So leave those comments on the workouts. Have conversations in the community section of the app. And if you're on Facebook and you want to be there, then we've also got the Manful Yoga community on Facebook, members only group there. If you're enjoying this podcast, you can leave a review wherever podcasts are. So on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, we've got video versions of the podcast in the Manful Yoga app and members area, and also on the Better Man Podcast YouTube channel. So check those out. That's what I've got for you today, guys. Thank you for listening. We've got more episodes on the way. If you need a little more of a boost to get started, if you're not quite ready to try a free trial, I also have a free 7-day beginners yoga for men program. You can sign up for that and give it a shot at manfulyoga.com/7DC. Thanks for listening. See you on the next one.